Board Member Tapia Romero, we are streaming.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Education Finance Committee meeting. I would like to call the meeting to order. Dr. Albright, may I have a roll call, please?
Ronaldo Tomorito,
Here.
Heather Benavides,
Here.
Josefina Dominguez,
Here.
Crystal Tapia Romero.
Here. Thank you. Our first item is to consider adoption of the April 23rd, 2025 Finance Committee meeting agenda. May I have a motion and a second, please?
I move that we consider adopting the April 23rd, 2025 Finance Committee meeting agenda. This is Board Member Benavides.
I will second Board Member Tomorito.
Thank you. Dr. Albright, may I have a roll call?
Ronaldo Tomorito,
Yes.
Heather Benavides,
Yes.
Josefina Dominguez,
Yes.
Crystal Tapia Romero.
Yes, thank you. Our next item is to consider approval of the minutes from the Finance Committee meeting from March 26th, 2025. May I have a motion and a second?
I move that we approve the minutes from the Finance Committee meeting on March 26, 2025. This is Board Member Benavides.
I'll second this, Board Member Dominguez.
Thank you. Dr. Albright, may I have a roll call?
Ronaldo Tomorito,
Yes.
Heather Benavides,
Yes.
Josefina Dominguez,
Yes.
Crystal Tapia Romero.
Yes, thank you. Board Member Benavides, you have like the greatest sunlight coming in on your window. I just need to acknowledge that. It's like God's shining on you. It looks amazing.
I'm very lucky this morning.
Yeah, looks great. Our next item is to consider approval of the March 2025 interfunction transfers for grant budget. And our presenter for this is Ms. Apodaca. You have the floor.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Superintendent Dr. Blakey, I'm going to have Ms. Mihaela present this.
Great,
Thank you. Good morning. Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Blakey, presenting for your consideration of approval the grant management interfunction transfers for the month of March 2025. The only notable budget transfer is pre-K alignment to be able to charge a slightly higher indirect cost rate as approved by ECECD, and everything else is just regular alignments for grants. With this, I stand for questions.
Thank you. Members of the committee, do we have any questions related to this? Okay, I see none. That makes my heart so happy, guys, that we were able to figure that out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will go ahead and continue. Our next item is to consider approval of the March 2025 intra-function transfers for grant budget. And Ms. Marin, back to you. Yes?
Thank you. Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Blakey, presenting for your consideration of approval the intra-function transfers for grants for the month of March 2025. We are starting to complete alignments to close the year and routine program alignments also. With that, I stand for any questions that might be.
Thank you. Members of the committee, any questions here? Okay, I see none. Thank you so much. Our next item is to consider approval of the March 2025 intra-function transfers for all non-categorical funds. And our presenter for this is Ms. Hicks. I'm trying to see. Okay, there we go.
Good morning, Madam Chair, committee members, Superintendent Dr. Blakey. This agenda item requests your approval of intra-function budget transfers for all non-categorical funds totaling $11.7 million in operational funds, $48,000 in transportation funds, $761,000 in transportation enterprise funds, $3,000 in facility enterprise funds, $57,000 in athletic funds, $5.3 million in capital funds, and $1 million in the self-insurance reserve funds. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Hicks. Members of the committee, any questions? Okay, thank you so much. We will continue. Our next item is to consider approval of statement of equipment to be taken out of service from March 1st through March 31st of 2025. And our presenter for this is Mr. Allison. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Blakey, I am presenting for your consideration of approval our statement of equipment to be taken out for March 1st through the 31st of 2025. The attached documentation that was presented identifies the equipment and the furniture to be taken out of service for March 2025 and to be disposed in accordance with our state statute. For our technology, it was in the amount of $1,307,400.15. And for our salvage department, it was in the amount of $167,326.31. And I am happy to answer any questions.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Ellison. Members of the committee, any questions? Okay, I see none. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our next item is to consider approval of district purchase or expenditure that equals or exceeds $500,000. This is for electrical services. And our presenter for this is Mr. Hawkins and Ms. Gensler. I'll turn it over to you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board, and Superintendent Blakey. We're here to ask for your approval of a district purchase or expenditure that equals or exceeds $500,000 for electrical services as needed and on call. And with that, we stand for any questions.
Thank you. Members of the committee, I'll open up for questions. Okay, I see none. Thank you. Our next item is to consider approval of district purchase or expenditures that equals or exceeds $500,000. This is for firewalls, network equipment, and services as needed. And Mr. Hawkins, back to you.
Good morning again, Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Blakey. We stand before you asking you to consider approval for district purchase or expenditure that equals or exceeds $500,000 for firewalls, network equipment, and services as needed. And with that, we stand for any questions.
Great. Thank you. Members of the committee, any questions? Okay, I see none. We will continue to our next item, and this is to consider approval of district purchase or expenditure that equals or exceeds $500,000. This is now for HVAC services for on call. And Mr. Hawkins, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Blakey, again, we're asking you to please consider approval of district purchases or expenditures equal or exceeding $500,000 for our on-call HVAC services. And with that, we stand for any questions.
Great. Thank you. Members of the committee, any questions? Okay, I see none. We will continue. Thank you. So our next item is to consider approval of district purchase or expenditures that equals or exceeds $500,000. And this is to purchase high-quality ebooks and e-audiobooks for elementary, middle, and high school students from Overdrive. And our presenter for this is Dr. Gonzalez. You have the floor for this, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee, Superintendent Dr. Blakey. Before you today for consideration of approval of district purchase or expenditure that exceeds $500,000 to purchase high-quality ebooks and audio ebooks for elementary, middle, and high school. We stand ready for your questions.
Great. And thank you for answering my questions on the Q&A on this, guys. I appreciate it. Members of the committee, any questions related here? Okay, I see none. Easy breezy. Let's continue on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item is to consider approval of district purchase or expenditures that equals or exceeds $500,000. This is for district device refresh. And our presenter for this is Mr. Hawkins. You have the floor.
Morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee, Superintendent Blakey. We come before you today for consideration of approval of district purchase or expenditure that equals or exceeds $500,000 for our district device refresh. And with that, we stand for any questions you may have.
Great. Thank you. Members of the committee, any questions? Okay, I see none. We will continue. Our next item is to consider approval of district purchase or expenditures that equals or exceeds $500,000. This is for purchase of a global positioning system for school bus transportation. And for this, our presenter is Mr. Binns. Go ahead.
Good morning, Madam President, members of the committee, and Superintendent Dr. Blakey. Consideration for your approval of the district purchase and expenditures that equal or exceeds $500,000 for GPS service for the school bus transportation. It's going from our original system that we have today that's 11 years old to a new one that integrates closer with our current routing software. So, and I stand for any questions.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Benz. Members of the committee, any questions? Okay. Thank you so much. We will
Thank
go ahead
you.
and continue. Thank you. Our next item is to consider approval of district purchase or district purchase or expenditure that equals or exceeds $500,000. This is for external financial auditing service, and our presenter for this is Ms. Apodaca.
Yeah. Madam Chair, members of the committee, Superintendent Blakey, this action item is for approval for purchases of services for our external financial auditing services. And I stand for questions.
Great. Thank you so much. Members of the committee, any questions?
I do have a question.
Go ahead, Board Member Dominguez.
So I'm just curious, are we switching our auditing, the company who does the audit services now? Or is this a separate?
Board Member Dominguez, yes, we are going to a new auditor by the state auditor's regulations. We have to switch I think it's every 4 years. So we had completed our cycle with our previous auditor.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, thank you so much. I see none, so we will go ahead and continue. Our next item is to consider approval of the March 2025 cash disbursements. And for that, I have our presenters, Ms. Gensler. I'll turn it over to you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Blakey. I'm requesting your consideration for approval of the March 2025 cash disbursements and happy to answer any questions.
Great, thank you so much. Members of the committee, any questions on this item? Okay, I see none. Thank you so much. So our next item is to consider recommending consent agenda board approval of items discussed during the April 23rd, 2025 Finance Committee meeting. These include interfunction and intra-function transfers for grants, intra-function transfers for all non-categorical funds, equipment to be taken out of service from March 1st to the 31st of 2025, district purchase or expenditures that equals or exceeds $500,000, which includes electrical services as needed, firewall network equipment and services, HVAC services on call, purchase high quality of ebooks, e-audiobooks for elementary, middle, and high school students from Overdrive, district device refresh, purchase of global positioning system for school bus transportation, external financial auditing services, and finally, the March 2025 cash disbursements. May I have a motion and a second, please?
I move to approve for the consent agenda, all items that you just listed.
I appreciate it. May I have a
And I'll
second?
second Board Member Benavides.
Perfect. Thank you. Dr. Albright, may I have a roll call, please?
Ronaldo Tomorito,
You're on mute, board member.
Yes. Yes.
Heather Benavides,
Yes.
Josefina Dominguez,
Yes.
Crystal Tapia Romero.
Yes, thank you. So our next Finance Committee meeting will be May 28th, 2025 at 8 a.m. virtually, or you can watch on the APS Board of Education YouTube channel. And with that being said, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Have a
I
good
believe
day.
we hit a record. I'm just going to say that. It was a record. Good job.